From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, over the past year, Troy University was in an effort to become an all-Steinway school, meaning that the School of Music here at Troy University would only play on Steinway pianos. Well, this week the school achieved their goal as a truckload of Steinway pianos were delivered to campus. Amy Austin has the details.
The Troy Steinway initiative is finally complete as 26 Steinway uprights and grands were brought to Troy University on Monday night.
We are getting the delivery of all of our Steinway pianos. So we are so excited about this. This is something we've been working on for a long time now. So it's sort of the culmination of a dream. Students that are a part of the John M. Long School of Music helped unload and unpack the new pianos. One student said he wanted to help unload the best pianos out there.
I came tonight because I'm a member of the piano studio here at Troy University in the School of Music, and it's a really awesome experience to be able to unbox the best pianos in the world.
And both the faculty and students said how important this initiative is to the Troy University Music Department.
It is absolutely a critical piece in our recruiting package. Steinway, as you know, is a mark of excellence, and Troy stands for excellence. But we took it even a step higher because we're going to become an all-Steinway school, which means that we will be the 17th school in the world that has only Steinway brand pianos in our schools.
Troy University is Alabama's international university, so Steinway is an international brand. So this will help us get students from other countries to help serve here and to study piano at Troy.
And while all the Steinways now belong to Troy, the fundraising is still in full swing to finish paying them off.
We had to raise a lot of money, and we have to continue to raise money. We still, the University Foundation loaned us some money so that we could go ahead and get the pianos in so that we could recruit for next year. But in addition to raising the money for the pianos, we'd like to raise money for a maintenance fund so that it can take care of the pianos, and as the program grows, buy other pianos so we would never have to do a really big fundraising initiative again.
And the new pianos were shown to the public as Dr. Long directed various teachers and students playing Stars and Stripes Forever. Amy Austin, Troy, TrojanVision News.
In our show, we'll hear from representatives from Steinway & Sons during our Trojan Talk segment. Well, poverty is something that many struggle with every day, and to shed light on the situation, Troy's Montgomery campus held a poverty simulation for the community to see just how hard it is to make ends meet. Angel Norris had the details from our Trojan News Center in Montgomery.
River Region residents came out Thursday night to learn more about the daily challenges faced by families in poverty. Troy University and Alabama Possible held a simulation to show the community how difficult it is for impoverished families.
We're going to have a group of about 88 participants experience what a month in the life of a low-income family might be like. We have 4 15-minute weeks, and during each one of those weeks, the families have to figure out how to put food on the table, get the kids to school and get to work on time, pay the rent and utilities.
Alabama is the 7th poorest state, and nearly 900,000 Alabamians live in poverty. Jonathan Seeland tells us how Troy students and people in the surrounding communities can help get involved.
So there's a lot of ways that on our Troy campus that students as well as the community can get involved. One is through our Campus Kitchens program. And we also do our spring food drive, which is a can castle contest and faculty and staff food drive, as well as we have relationships with area nonprofits and schools to get students out in the community.
Participants tell us what they learned and how the experience was for them.
It's amazing how many different things can come up in the course of a given month that families have to endure and deal with.
Well, when you look down and really look at all the bills that you have to pay with a set amount of money, I got left in jail for 2 weeks. My parents couldn't come and get me because they had other obligations to pay. So it just kind of makes you look at, things from another point of view.
You can't just put a Band-Aid on poverty, but what is really required is for us to become engaged in long-term ways and really deal with the underlying issues around poverty and hunger in Alabama.
At least 300,000 children live under the poverty line as well. If you would like to find out more information on how to help, visit alabamapossible.org. In Montgomery, Angel Norris, Troy TrojanVision News.
Over the weekend, Troy University students had the opportunity to travel to Montgomery to see some historic landmarks from the civil rights period. Clay Yeager shows what the students learned in their travels from our Trojan News Center in Montgomery.
With Black History Month coming to a close, Troy University students had their first annual trip to Montgomery to see some historic sites and learn more about the roots of Black history.
Well, this year is a very important year with the celebration of the 7 to Montgomery March and the celebration of the Montgomery bus boycott. So we wanted to at least schedule a trip for our students to visit the Dexter Avenue Memorial Church as well as the Rosa Parks Museum on the Troy Montgomery campus.
Students that made the tour to the Dexter Avenue Memorial Church and the Rosa Parks Museum said they took away something personal in their experience.
My dad was 5 years old when the whole Civil Rights Act got passed. He was born in 1960, so he experienced a lot of it firsthand, and just actually getting to know what's going on within it. What did I gain most from it is just that it didn't happen long ago, and that it's a continuing process, but at least it's moving somewhere.
Troy University students that had a chance to come to the Rosa Parks Museum said that they learned something that they could not get in a classroom.
In a class setting, you read about it, but it doesn't necessarily stick into your mind. But coming to visualize it and see it, it's going to stick, and then it's going to be more of an impact.
In a classroom setting, you get that feeling of that it's work and you don't really want to do it. But in this instance, it was more of a natural feeling, and it allows me to pick and choose, actually get what I want out of it instead of that constant feeling of a paper due on it, and I'm just trying to get words on the paper instead of actually knowing what I'm writing on that paper.
Reporting from Montgomery, Clay Yeager, Troy TrojanVision News.
The Rosa Parks Museum is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Troy's Montgomery campus. And this week, Troy University students cast their ballots to elect the next group of officers for Troy University Student Government Association. Courtney Chandler takes a look at the SGA Executive Officer elections.
On Wednesday, the Troy University Student Government Association held its second election for the spring semester. This election gave students the opportunity to vote for who they wanted to serve in the executive offices and the Student Government Association.
So today we have elections for president, vice president of campus activities, vice president of legislative affairs, clerk, and secretary.
Cole says this is the second biggest election the SGA holds for the year, and each executive office holds a big responsibility.
Well, these are the 5 people that are going to really be the faces of the university for the next year. So I feel like that's really important to make an informed decision and to get these 5 people who are going to obviously do the best job and are going to represent SGA and Troy University the highest.
Along with the SGA elections on Wednesday, students also could nominate teachers for the Ingalls Award as well.
The Ingalls Award is given for someone who displays outstanding teaching in the classroom, and part of what they do is they send students into the respective classrooms with different teachers and kind of see their teaching styles and everything like that. So there are different people represented from the different colleges, and today is kind of like the election and selection process for them and narrowing that down.
One student explained why she thought this SGA election is important and why students should come out and vote.
I think it's important because it kind of gets as a student body, it gets our opinion out, and they're able to tell the people that are above us what we want.
This is Courtney Chandler, Troy TrojanVision News.
The winners in this year's election were George Solis for Vice President for Legislative Affairs, for Clerk Olivia Melton, and for Secretary Shelby Scott. Heath Barton ran unopposed for President, and Patrick Rogers was unopposed for Vice President for Campus Activities. And while some college students were running for office, some younger students got the chance to see what it's like to be in public office as the city of Troy welcomed their mayor for a day. Victoria Bailey has the story.
Mayor Reeves of the city of Troy was replaced for the day. A select group of students wrote essays to the mayor about issues that they saw in Troy, and Tuesday morning they were able to meet and discuss them with him face to face.
Mayor for a day. This is the 14th time we've done it. So we're really excited because we changed things up a little bit. Usually we go to the fire department, the police department, we show them the library and the Johnson Center, but this year we really kind of wanted to consider what they were writing about in their essays and take them and show them some things that were pertaining to what was in their essays.
And among the things the students wanted to see come to the city of Troy was a city soup kitchen and a homeless shelter. But one student tells us exactly what his essay highlights.
I wrote about sidewalks and how we need more sidewalks in Troy so we can ride our bikes and skateboards or whatever we want to get people outside and have a good time.
Not only do the students get to see all the duties that Mayor Reeves handles on a daily basis, the students also have the opportunity to draw up and pass their own resolutions.
Most 7th graders don't get that opportunity. Most people, period, don't get that opportunity. And Troy is a no-smoking city. That was passed as a resolution by Mayor for a day.
The students continued their day with a historic tour of downtown Troy and ended at the City Council meeting where they were recognized by the mayor and were able to present the resolutions they created earlier to the public. I'm Victoria Bailey for Troy Trojan Vision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how Troy's Chinese students celebrated one of their biggest national holidays. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Even though we're 2 months into 2015, Troy University's Chinese students were celebrating New Year's this week. Victoria Sabinina explains.
Last week, Chinese all over the world celebrated Lunar New Year. Troy University students also had an opportunity to join the celebration, even being far away from home.
This is the second year I celebrate Chinese Lunar New Year in Troy University, and I feel very happy to be the MC for this celebration. And this year we celebrate the year of Chinese sheep.
However, not only Chinese students attended the concert, but also domestic students and staff of Troy University. Performers presented traditional Chinese dances and songs, as well as modern.
I like the dance part, and I really like it because how they act, they're really fun and they're really fast. And I like the food too, it was delicious.
Guests of the Lunar New Year could enjoy not only Chinese songs and dances, but also traditional food.
Night food, it's cooked by Liz Buffet, and some of the dishes, just like what we eat in China.
Beans, noodles, and beef broccoli, sushi, and potatoes, and double cooked meat.
Victoria Sabinina, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Troy University's dining facility provides a variety of food options for Troy University students, faculty, and staff to enjoy on a daily basis. However, this week, Trojan Dining offered up a little international flavor courtesy of a visiting chef from India. Victoria Sabinina has the details.
Troy University students and staff had a chance to discover a little bit of India. The chef from India came specially to share the flavor of his country.
This event is about basically to bring in the different authentic food from the different countries. And last year we brought the Canada, and this year we decided to bring the India. As you know, that we do have a lot of international students on campus. Some of them from China, some of them from India. But we thought it would be a good promotion to bring the different food to their own campus.
On Monday, the Sodexo served the Indian dinner for Troy University students downstairs, and on Tuesday, they offered the same opportunities for Troy University's faculty and staff.
It was nice and different from what our normal Southern cultural fried cooking is for the area, and I thought that the influence of the curry and the different ways of preparing the food, it was really different, a lot of fun, and bringing nice natural cultural international influence to our normal dining.
The chef shared his ideas of how he can make a difference in American eating habits.
My visit to Troy, especially in university, is to make student and of course everybody aware of Indian food. If someone has not tried it, if they have some mentality that it's very spicy and it is unhealthy or something whatsoever it is, so if they'll try, they will know exactly what Indian cuisine is, and then maybe they'll keep trying.
The chef is going to visit several other universities to spread the knowledge about Indian food. Victoria Sabinina, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And Troy University welcomed over 200 high school art students to take part in Troy University's second annual Art Day. Deja Suarez gives us a look.
Troy University held its second annual Art Day, inviting creative high schoolers with a passion for art to be exposed to what Troy has to offer.
It's introducing schools, public high schools, and throughout Alabama, Troy University, and what we offer in the art department.
Teachers from different schools selected students who were interested in showcasing their brilliant artistic talents. One teacher shares why Art Day is so important to the students.
I love that they start, this is the second annual Art Day, and I love it because even students that are local here in Troy don't get an opportunity to work with the art professors and the media that they have here at Troy University. They're actually getting in the classroom and working with the professors, so it really makes them more familiar with Troy University.
With over 200 students from 7 different public schools around Alabama, the students were able to interact with other children that shared the same admirations. One Dothan High School student shares what art means to him.
Using my art to kind of express like how I feel about different things, like, you know, show emotion through like my artistic views, like different things like that, you know, just use it as a source of expression.
Troy University students as well were able to get involved in Art Day and share why art is important in society.
It's really important that we bring these kids out here and show them what the art department is all about and get them interested.
I feel like this generation kind of has lost touch of art. And so this is a way for us to recommunicate them to, like, I guess just like their freedom of expression.
Deja Suarez, Troy TrojanVision News.
It's National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and Troy Outreach is doing their part to raise awareness about eating disorders. Sarah Singletary has more.
On Thursday, Trojan Outreach took to the Bibb Graves Quad to promote eating disorder awareness, as well as promote a Thursday evening presentation by a registered dietitian. Trojan Outreach Student Coordinator Nelson DeLuca shares with us why his organization believed a dietitian would prove beneficial to students.
This week is eating specifically for the SAVE, or the Student Counseling Center. It's Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and so what they're doing is they're having a Barbie cut out here telling us about how, you know, the proportions of her body, she can't actually fit, you know, organs in her body, and we want to bring attention to those different body image issues that women and men can have around college, and the dietitian is going to talk about stuff like that and talk about what is healthy living and what is not.
Oftentimes, eating disorders can be seen as a touchy subject, which is exactly why Trojan Outreach wants to shed light on the situation. The organization hopes to bring the eating disorder discussion out into the open and help those who need it.
Eating disorders are something that kind of stay under the radar, and people don't really talk about them as much, especially people that have them. They don't want people to know. And so if we kind of bring it up and make it a big discussion, then more people are going to talk about it and more people are going to get help if they need it.
The Trojan Outreach program has dedicated an entire week to raising awareness about eating disorders, hoping the students will take away a better sense of self.
I hope that everybody on campus takes away just a better feelings about themselves and how they look, and how their body is, and how comfortable they are with their body.
Guest speaker and registered dietitian Jennifer Jordan Thompson will be in Patterson Hall, room 103 on Thursday at 5:30. Sarah Singletary, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Another quick break, but when we come back, we'll hear some offerings from our friends at Troy Public Radio. So don't touch that dial.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Each week we take some time to hear some of the work done by our broadcast partners at Troy Public Radio. This week we'll get another sample of Talk of Troy, the student-produced broadcast of Troy Public Radio. Now let's take a listen.
It's the Talk of Troy. Voices and sounds from the campuses of Troy University. I'm Joey Hudson. The designation of Steinway School is something that Troy University added to its list of accolades this week, and producer Wanda Norris has the story.
This week, Troy University's John M. Long School of Music experienced some new arrivals. 26 of them to be exact, according to Jean LaLiberty, director of Troy's Foundation.
These are the pianos that fulfill our quest to be an all-Steinway school.
The Steinway initiative began 3 years ago and culminated Wednesday night when 29, soon to be tuned, Steinway pianos played the Stars and Stripes Forever simultaneously. The School of Music has over 300 events planned for the upcoming year that incorporate the Steinway pianos, and more information is at music.troy.edu. For the Talk of Troy, I'm Wanda Norris.
Troy University and Alabama Possible hosted a simulation on February 19th on the Montgomery campus that challenged participants to experience what it's like to live in poverty. Jonathan Seelan, the coordinator of service learning and civil engagement at Troy, said he's excited about the opportunity to move past stereotypes of low-income families.
They're really hard choices and they're sacrifices that individuals are making on a day-to-day basis. You can't just figure out the magic formula and win the simulation.
Christina Scott, executive director of Alabama Possible, said the simulation has the potential to make people more empathetic to those living below the poverty line.
I hope that the folks here tonight will get involved in activities that address the underlying causes of poverty and hunger.
For more information, search for Poverty Simulation at troy.edu. I'm Joey Hudson, and you've been listening to The Talk of Troy, a production of Troy Public Radio.
Throughout the week, Troy Public Radio can be heard on 89.9 in Troy and Montgomery, 88.7 in Dothan, and 91.7 in Phoenix City. Well, it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn more about Troy University's All Steinway initiative. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Troy University is now officially an all-Steinway school. The School of Music now exclusively plays on pianos made by Steinway & Sons. Earlier this week, I had the chance to speak with representatives of Steinway & Sons about the partnership. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll be talking some Steinway pianos. My guests today are John McLaren and Brandon Herrenbrook from Steinway. I would like to thank both of you for joining me here today.
Thank you.
And we're talking Steinways because Troy University has done it. They have become an all Steinway school. It's been an initiative in place for a little time now, but finally they've unveiled the pianos. So first off, how does it feel as representatives of Steinway to see a new school be included into the fold of all Steinway schools?
It's a tremendous accomplishment, a tremendous feeling of pride that we share with the schools. Over the last years that this initiative has been underway, not only have we become friends with the people in the music department, but really all over the university, and we sort of feel like we're part of you guys now. So it's an outstanding feeling, and really to see the reaction on the students' faces when those pianos rolled in on Monday night, that was very, very special.
And now, what exactly does this mean for the university now that they are an all Steinway school? What kind of benefits come from that sort of thing?
There are a few that come to mind. There is this cachet that comes along with becoming an all Steinway school. Steinway is known as being the world's best piano, not because Steinway says it's because of the reputation. And there are now a little over 170, including Troy, worldwide, that have that distinction, and that is a distinction of excellence. And Troy's vision and the mantra of Troy is all about excellence, and see everything that they do. So it fits well with Steinway, and Steinway fits well with Troy.
And of course, now the number of pianos. Exactly how many Steinway pianos does Troy have in their collection now?
I believe the count now is 28 total. There are several grand pianos and quite a few vertical pianos that go into teaching studios and practice rooms.
And of course, the variety of those, normally you see the performance pieces, the grand pianos, the nice pianos, but then you mentioned there including the upright pianos that are going into practice facilities, rooms that no one's probably ever going to see, but that establishes a basis for this entire program that all they're doing is playing on the Steinway pianos.
That's correct. There will be now no surprises from the practice room to the stage, because the Steinway pianos in the practice rooms are built with the same quality and the same scale designs and different aspects of those pianos that are going to be very, very close to those concert grands that they'll be playing and performing on.
Now, comparison to other schools that are all Steinway schools, you mentioned the number of pianos that Troy has. How does that compare to the other schools we may see across the country?
Well, with the all Steinway schools, we have a wide array. The minimum in any institution that becomes an all Steinway school has to have is at least 10. But if you look at some of the larger institutions like CCM in Cincinnati, they, I think, if memory serves, have the largest number of Steinways in their fleet, and that's 165. But the vast majority probably fall maybe where Troy is in a little north of what they have.
And of course, with that number and with being an all Steinway school, I guess one of the big elements is recruiting, bringing students in to play these. And now Troy can say, hey, you're going to come and play on what's considered by many to be the best. Would you agree with that this is going to be something that may bump that music recruiting?
There's no question about it. The benefit that it's going to have, the Sound of the South and the instrumental part of the music department has been legendary. But now we add being the all Steinway school to that, and it becomes all of a sudden a extremely well-rounded music program, and that's going to have benefits both locally, regionally, and especially internationally. The head of the piano department here at Troy is from Taiwan and is also now a Steinway artist, and so she'll be touring China this summer, recruiting, and with Troy's international reach and with the cachet that Steinway brings, and with her talent, it's going to be a great, great benefit.
And that's what happened on the last week of February 2015. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have